Hello and welcome back to Rugby Geeks hot off the press. The coaching team for the Lions tour to South Africa 2021 has been announced, so we thought what better time than now to go through those coaches, but also have a little look at a 15 that I've put together that I think would be a tasty squad. I know that not everybody in the 15 would be your choice. That's fine. I don't mind. There are 36 going. So, is it 36? Yeah, 36 I think it's going. So, yeah. Whatever. Apologies for the background. Normally we'd have the green screen up, but this is so fresh off the press. I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to have to do this video on my lunch break. So, apologies if I get anything wrong, or if you don't like the look of the background, deal with it, people. This is a lunch break video. Right then, let's have a look at these bad boys then. So, the 4 Baldy horsemen that Warren Gatland has selected to take a squad over to South Africa to take on the Springboks. I like it. I like what I'm seeing here. I think we've got some fresh faces, but they're not that fresh, really, are they? None of them have got any hair. None of them look under 45. But we got some different faces that perhaps we weren't expecting to see. So let's go through them then. So we've got Steve Tandy looking after the defence. And let's be honest, what a fantastic job he's done with Scotland. They've grown and grown and grown. And this past Six Nations, they missed out on, nobody's talking about this, but they missed out on a Grand Slam by 6 points. Just 6 points, and they'd have had the Grand Slam. So defensively, Scotland have been immense in the last 12 months. Congratulations to Steve Tandy. Massive props to him. He's well deserved this place. He's looking after the defence. So on to who's looking after the forwards is Robin McBride of Leinster. Quality coach. Absolutely deserves his spot here. Looking forward to see what he can produce in a Lions forward pack against a South African forward pack that loves a bit of grunt. So interesting to see what comes out of that pack. On to the attack coach. And again, we can't praise Scotland enough for what they've achieved in the last 2 or 3 years. They are going from strength to strength. They're building something really special at Murrayfield. And Gregor Townsend takes on the role of attack coach. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Gregor's going to pull together, because he does bring some really interesting moves together. So looking forward to that. The way he puts a set play together is very different to everybody else, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he produces for the Lions. Right then, finally, Neil Jenkins of Wales is going to look after the kickers. Does that tell you anything about the potential selections? Do any of these coaches tell you about the potential selections? Certainly tells me that we're probably going to see more of Scotland in this Lions squad than we would have expected 6 months ago. But there we go. Right then, those are the core coaches that Warren Gatland has selected for this tour to South Africa. Let me know in the comments what you think of these Baldy horsemen. What are we saying? I like it. I'm not going to lie, I like it. There was loads of talk about Andy Farrell and was he going to go or not, and I was like, I'm not a big Farrell fan. I don't think he's had a great time with Ireland so far. He's got a lot of work to do there. Probably needs to stay home and concentrate on getting the Irish squad right. Much like Eddie will need to get this English squad right. Anyway, I said that I was going to have a little look at a Lions 15 as well. Now I have tortured myself a little bit over this. There have been players that have swapped and changed and whatnot, and it's only a 15. So those players that you're shouting at me in the comments section for probably will make the 36. Would make my 36 at least. But yeah, this is just a 15. So I don't think I've made too many surprises, but I'm sure your clover and leak tinted glasses will tell me otherwise. Right then, here we go then. So first up, Wyn Jones. Cannot argue that he is arguably one of the best props in the home nations at the minute. Natural, easy choice at loose head for me. Not going to dwell too much on that. Cowan Dickey at hooker. I think Cowan Dickey has... Now, let me just make this clear. I'm not picking this squad on this Six Nations. Yeah, I get that England had a bad Six Nations, but you cannot discount what they've done over the last 4 years. You know, they took... they matched the record for the longest win streak. They won Grand Slams. They went to the final of the World Cup against the Saffers. They've done bits in the last 4 years. We can't just write off their whole consistency based on 2 months. So Cowan Dickey makes my squad. I think he's moving from strength to strength. Hasn't quite got the hands of Jamie George around the park, but I just think he's a little bit more secure at line out. In at tight head, Tag Furlong. I don't need to say any more. Did you see that step in the Six Nations? That's a prop moving mad, and he does that all the time. That's mental. He's a top operator, probably the best prop in the world right now, if not very, very close to. He makes a tight head. On to the second row. Wales fans will be pleased to see Alan Wyn Jones in there, and for me, this man skips the team. He's the captain of this 15. He's a legend, isn't he? You don't need to spend too much time bigging him up. He gets around the park like he's 16 years old, even though he's at the end of his career. Somebody's going to give him the keys to Cardiff one of these days, if he's not already got them. Again, another Englishman, Maro Itoje. No one can really say that this guy is not a top player. Yes, he is bang on the borderline between foul play and legal play, but when he gets it right, he gets it so right. And he is an absolute menace, and he can potentially cause the South Africans all sorts of problems. So in the second row goes Maro Itoje. On to the back row, Navidi. I think he's a great player, you know. I think he's a really quality operator around the park. Great on the jackal. He's got lots and lots of skills that are going to be really necessary against a very niggly pack down in South Africa. Hamish Watson. If you haven't seen this man play and you don't think he deserves a spot, you're moving mad. You're moving mad, because this guy is electrifying. He has one of the biggest work rates, and he's got such great vision as well defensively. He's constantly scanning, constantly getting into the right areas of the park to cause absolute havoc. So Watson makes open side for me. And this is just a bit of a nostalgic one, really. CJ Stander at 8. I think there's probably going to be 2 or 3 8s in and around him that could potentially pinch his spot. Sam Simmons could offer the Lions an extra bit of pace and some stronger hands to get to that faster paced game that the Southern Hemisphere play. But yeah, because I think he's going to go on the tour, just because he's retired and this is his last opportunity to play Test rugby. So I think Warren Gatland might just give him a soft spot space. But yeah, CJ Stander, and let's not deny it, he's top class still. He is still top class. So I think he deserves his spot, but I think there are other 8s that could be in there, in and around him. It's going to be a difficult choice there at 8, in my opinion. Conor Murray goes in at 9. Look, I know he hasn't been overly selected by Andy Farrell. I know he's not overly loved by the Irish at the minute. But my God, this guy is world class. This guy is absolute on point. He can snipe. He knows how to blend a game of rugby. And that's something that a lot of the other 9s are struggling with at the minute. Ben Youngs is struggling with that. Who else is struggling with that? Gareth Davis is massively struggling with that. And so is Hornswoggle. He's really struggling to blend his game. So, yeah. Murray in at 9. In at 10. Tricky spot to pick. But I've gone with Dan Biggar. And I've gone with Dan Biggar because he is consistently improving as a 10. The work he's done at the Saints has brought his game on tenfold. I think Jonathan Sexton's past it. He can't last more than 20 minutes on a pitch these days. I think George Ford is world class, but I think he's just a little bit too soft in D. And I think the Saffers are going to chew him up, if I'm quite honest. Russell, again, world class 10, but the problem we've got with Russell is he's too much of a maverick. And I think you just need too much time for a backline to work with him, to understand and read him the way he needs to be read. He plays too much off the cuff, basically. We need somebody with some structure. We need somebody that can organise. And I think Biggar is the man for the job. However, I do not think he's the man for the kicking job. I think this man is going to be brought in for that purpose. You can't deny Owen Farrell with the boot. I know, he is the pantomime villain. Everybody loves to hate him because he's the English captain. Whatever. I still think he's a great player. I still think he's got loads to give. And I think at the minute, his game is suffering because of a game plan, not because of ability. So Owen Farrell slips in at 12. Mainly to deal with kicking duties, but also because who doesn't want a fantastic distributor at 12? Into 13, the Irish are going to kill me, but I've gone with Chris Harris. I watched a Squidge Rugby video the other day, and I didn't realise how much work this guy does off the ball in defence. And for me, the 13 is your defensive leader. So it just makes perfect sense that this guy is not only everywhere in defence, he's organising, he's scanning, he's picking the right holes to be in, taking the right opportunities at the right time. For me, Chris Harris is the 13. On the blindside wing then, I've gone with Van der Merwe, top try scorer from the Six Nations, really impressive player, and I've mentioned it enough before, that this South African side are a team full of grunt. We're gonna need boys that can front up, that can take a shot or two, and even deal out a little bit of our own punishment. And Van der Merwe, just look at them arms, man, on that picture. Jesus, it's like twice the size of my thighs. This man's a beast. So he goes in at blindside wing. On the open side wing, you can't ignore him, can you? He's lighting things up at the minute. He's doing wonders. He's been porking Paul Scholes' daughter. He's an absolute legend of the game already. Rhys Sammet goes on the open side wing. And finally, at fullback, vice captain, in my opinion, man with bags of heart, Exeter chief, and Scotland captain. Red Indians call him Hawkeye the New. Stuart Hogg is just such a talent, and comfortably the best fullback in the home nations, if not, well, definitely the Northern Hemisphere, if not the world. He is absolutely on fire at the minute and well deserves his place. Has been doing fantastic work with Scotland over the last 3 or 4 years. Great to see him at Exeter tearing it up. winning both the league and the Champions Cup last year. Awesome stuff. Right, that is my team. All that's left for me to say is thank you so much for the support I've been getting recently. If you've enjoyed this video, please smash a like, smash a comment. I do reply to as many of the comments as I can. It takes me a little while sometimes because I don't always pick them up as quickly as I'd like, but I do reply to everybody, so feel free to call me whatever you want and I'll get back to you on that. Don't forget to subscribe as well. It's overwhelming how much love and support I've been getting over the last few weeks, and this channel is so new, so thank you so much for that. All that's left for me to say then is face down, ass up. That's the way we like to ruck.